Welcome to All Theory, No Conspiracy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click to receive notifications, and leave a comment. The purpose of this video is to show that there is a link between Baphomet worship and the transgender movement. The belief that people can change their physical sex through hormone therapy and surgery is not true, and that children are being encouraged to begin this process before puberty is downright dangerous. Is the Baphomet the patron and matron saint of the transgender movement? There are people that have long believed in what they see as an empowering force in the chimeric form of a goat, whether it be Pan or the Baphomet. The Baphomet is infamously portrayed as a goat-human, male-female hybrid with wings. The upside-down pentagram is a symbol that has come to represent the Baphomet. The upward points are representative of the horns, the downward point the goat's beard, the side points its ears. We have seen many variations of this symbolism in the entertainment medium. Salve et coagula. The Baphomet motto is Salve et coagula. This is translated as such: separate and join together, or dissolve and coagulate in Latin, is a medieval alchemy quote, which is to say that nothing new can be built if not before we make space, breaking the old. This could be the mission statement of the transgender movement and also of chimera experiments on animals. Could it be that the belief in this being inspired its followers to alter the human form in tribute to it? It is both human and goat. It is also male and female. Is it an offering or sacrifice to their deity to try to rearrange the physical sex of human beings? The idea of sex reassignment surgery has been mentioned since the end of the 1800s. The first sex change was performed in 1930. Lily Elba, born December 28, 1882, Vejle, Denmark, died September 13, 1931, Dresden, Germany, was a Danish painter who was male at birth, experienced what is now called gender dysphoria, and underwent the world's first documented sex reassignment surgery. Pansexuality is defined as an attraction to people of any gender, or to people regardless of their gender, with the prefix pan coming from the Greek prefix for all. The term pansexual was used to describe the aesthetic of certain musicians in the 1970s, such as Mick Jagger, David Bowie, and Lou Reed, who were very androgynous in appearance. There was also a trend in music called Glam Rock. It began in the 1970s and lasted through the 1980s in an era that is also referred to as hair metal. Young male musicians were wearing hairspray, excessive makeup, and lingerie as stage clothes. One of the most popular and heavily promoted glam rock bands is Motley Crue. They featured the upside-down pentagram as a motif, and were one of the groups to popularize the goat horn salute, or heavy metal horns. Many musical acts at the time were promoting the same things. This is all Baphomet symbolism. Was this blending of androgyny, music, and Baphomet symbolism a way of normalizing both Baphomet worship and transgenderism? It certainly appears that way. This music and image was heavily promoted on music video TV channels in the 1980s. And later, when the music trend shifted to hip-hop, many hip-hop acts began promoting Baphomet symbolism as well. In the propaganda of the transgender movement, what never seems to be mentioned is how the process of attempting to transition a person from one sex to the other is purely a cosmetic treatment, one that can pose serious health risks for the patients. At this time, it is strictly an experimental procedure with no guarantees. This and the following 4 screens contain information sourced from mainstream medical articles. Transgender pregnancy is the gestation of one or more embryos or fetuses by transgender people. As of this day, the possibility is restricted to those born with female reproductive systems. However, transition-related treatments may impact fertility. Transgender men and non-binary people who are or wish to become pregnant face social, medical, legal, and psychological concerns. As uterus transplantations are currently experimental and none have successfully been performed on trans women, they cannot become pregnant. Transgender individuals who undergo gender-affirming medical or surgical therapies are at risk for infertility. Suppression of puberty with gonadotropin-releasing hormone agonist analogs, GnRHA, in the pediatric transgender patient can pause the maturation of germ cells and thus affect fertility potential. Testosterone therapy in transgender men can suppress ovulation and alter ovarian histology, while estrogen therapy in transgender women can lead to impaired spermatogenesis and testicular atrophy. The effect of hormone therapy on fertility is potentially reversible, but the extent is unclear. Gender-affirming surgery, GAS, that includes hysterectomy and oophorectomy in trans men, or orchiectomy in trans women, results in permanent sterility. It is recommended that clinicians counsel transgender patients on fertility preservation, FP, options prior to initiation of gender-affirming therapy. It is known in the medical and scientific communities that these procedures can cause sterility, serious physical and psychological issues, and cannot actually change the biological sex of a person. Why is this procedure being pushed to the point that they are strongly encouraging this experimentation on not only adults, but prepubescent children as well? Why are school children being taught about alternative sexuality in school and being encouraged to question their gender? Awareness is fine, but only a small percentage of people are gender dysphoric. Most people are born as male and female without this syndrome, and the dominant orientation is heterosexual. We are all born as the result of heterosexual reproduction. Test tube babies or in vitro still require the male and female components. There are and always have been 2 genders, male and female. Gender is present in animals, plants, and in energy fields. It is nature and biology that determines what sex we are. Some people are born as intersex, but this also occurs according to nature, and male or female gender is still present, with one being dominant. Are the physiological and psychological effects of this procedure really worth the risk for people who are suffering with gender dysphoria? There are many other ways to accommodate and assist these people prior to a life-altering surgery and experimental hormonal treatments being considered. For centuries now, very powerful people have believed in a hermaphroditic goat human and have openly displayed its symbolism in our culture, so we will be more accepting of it. They have lately used a very heavy-handed approach to bring transgenderism into the public consciousness, and in some places have changed laws to force parents to allow their children to transition, labeling it abuse if parents stand in the way of allowing their child to be harmed. There will be links to medical and scientific articles about the effects of transgender procedures, as well as to an article and YouTube video about Pan, the Baphomet, and Satyr mythology in the description below this video. The end? Stay tuned for more content from All Theory, No Conspiracy. Thank you for watching.